This one for WWE champions. Pay to win like every day, yeah.
I don't play mobile games.
Funny how they still think I'm a broke man.
Then I'm broke.
Even though I be pulling Hogan's. I spent like 40 grand on a couple thousand pictures of some sweaty men.
When I say I got my revenge on side-scrollers, what do I mean? Well, let's see. First off, they ultimately were exposed for being absolutely awful creators. They failed miserably as any kind of an entertainment or video game-related culture show. They had to completely rebrand to become a right-wing grifter show, okay? And then I had him in an interview, and I publicly exposed him for who he really was, a malicious individual who was only out for self-serving purposes, who never intended to give me a fair shake during the interview, but instead was trying to spin it into his big break. He wanted the scoop that I was going to admit that I played WWE Champions, and he was going to be the guy who got the scoop, and he was going to benefit huge from it, and he didn't get it, and he became a whiny little baby bitch who then just sucked money from my detractors to try to get something out of the situation. And his mask came completely off in my interview with him when he became incredibly desperate at being exposed. And then said, oh, well, I'll donate money to charity. Oh, well, I'll send money to you. Well, I'll do whatever. He's just a fucking pussy bitch. He always was. He's just someone who takes advantage of a situation, doesn't care about the morality around it or anything like that. As long as his pockets get lined, that's all he cares about. 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you anything he's talking about in his shitty-ass fucking right-wing grifter show is bullshit. He's just fabricating drama. He's making shit up so that he can make money. By the way, I'm just curious. You guys explain this to me. What happened with his Game Awards? Did he actually do them? Remember how he had a big fundraiser this year that he wanted to do his own version of the Game Awards because he doesn't like Jeff Keighley's. He feels like they're too liberal and left-leaning. Did his big Game Awards actually happen? Did they make big news and did they make waves in the gaming industry? Because I didn't hear shit. I heard nothing, right? Did they? See, I don't know. Did they take the money and run? If they did, that's not the first time he's done that. Like, over the years, he's done many different things like that. For some bizarre reason, no one calls them out for it. Years ago, he did this other fundraiser thing where he was like, oh, this is going to be a way that creators are going to get noticed. You pay into this network. You don't like you. It's a crowdfunding network, and then we're going to list your stuff going on, and you're going to get noticed, right? So a bunch of people paid into it, and then he just canceled the whole thing. So, oh well, I'm moving on. I'm doing a different project. What? Okay. The Crunchiest Onion did a super chat. Did you watch any Side-Scrollers episodes before your interview or any of his prior projects? I did. I watched a bunch of the episodes from before the interview. Basically, I saw how they were basically struggling. They were trying to get traction back. What's funny about it is they had people on that show, big YouTubers. We're talking YouTubers with million subs, people with big followings. They got no increase in attention whatsoever. 0. Then they had me on and acted incredibly toxic about me after the interview, and they benefited massively. So essentially what happened was they tried to be legit. Okay? They tried to be legit and couldn't make it legit because they're just not interesting at all. So instead, they just decided to become drama. Like literally like everyone else. It's just a total sellout on the internet. That's what you do. I tried to make it legit. I couldn't make it legit. You know, I just couldn't retain an audience. I couldn't get a following. I couldn't get anyone to pay attention to me. So now it's time to crash out. That's what they say, right? Crashing out. Give up on everything that you ever wanted to do and instead just become a shameless grifter by creating drama, which is exactly what they did. First, it was about creating drama around me so they could milk my detractors for money. Then they tried creating drama elsewhere. It kind of fizzled out and didn't work. So then they jumped into politics. And then they said, let's make drama with politics by being extreme to the right. And it worked. Because people are stupid, and they fall for grifting. They're just dumb. What? Two-time Todd, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. They interviewed Boogie after me, and they did a series of guest appearances before me. Tons of YouTubers appeared on the show before I did. Just get a ban now. You're a fucking idiot. Yikes, people are dumb. Yes, Charizard, I ignore Kick completely now. That's correct. Exactly. They had the Angry Video Game Nerd on and only got like 5,000 views on the video. You're right. Like, that's what I mean. Like, they just basically, the only thing that ever got them notoriety when they were making content that was game related was me. That was it. Nothing else got any attention. That's why they pivoted towards the easy drama of, you know, being incredibly right-wing politics, because they knew that that would be polarizing. It would get them attention. And then they could grift and say, oh, let's do our own game awards that will never happen, but we'll still take your money for, and shit like that. It's the easy way out. Really. Why do you think my politics show hasn't blown up? Because you notice that I'm not extreme. That, yes, there are times when I'm going to call people out. Like, I'm going to call out the Black Lives Matter activist who literally sits there in an interview and has nothing to say whatsoever. I'm going to call out when people say that racism exists when it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to call that stuff out. But that's not going incredibly one direction. That's just being a realist. You know, at the same time, I guarantee you there's going to be stuff going on in the future where it's going to be the other way, where I think the Republicans / right-wing people will also be doing stupid shit, and I'm going to call them out for it too. But that's if people don't want that. They either want one extreme or the other, so they can just feel, oh, well, I feel so simpleton extreme one way or the other that now I don't have to think. Instead, I just do what I'm told by my one-sided extremist views group, which is stupid, because that's not the good way to go through life. You know, that's why I knew doing politics was never going to really blow up for me, because I'm not a person who's going to be, going crazy in one direction or the other. I'm just never going to. I always kind of see where's the more moderate, realist place to be so that everyone can kind of get by and coexist rather than crush the enemies, crush the people who you disagree with. You know, I've never been like that.
You got some idiot named DSP who's a total piece of shit, by the way. I like to get that on YouTube.